as once again we have a great international engagement in between France and Canada, as we have these two pro players spawning here on Hardwire. This game has been played in the year 2022, a very recent replay from February 2022 on the IM Katowice tournament. So yeah, in the upper right in the blue we have CLEM from France and his opponent here in the lower right, in the lower left, sorry, in the red. It is SCARLETT, a very known female pro player here. I'm also very much known, starting playing Starcraft really at a very young age, having the support from his family, especially from his father. So yeah, really great stuff here, as we are about to expect here on the map. We see CLEM opening up here very casual, very normally here, with a wall in, with his barracks, with his refinery. And yeah, let's have a look at the build order here from SCARLETT, as she's going straight into a fast expansion build order. So Overlord into fast expansion here for SCARLETT, and as her overlords are already moving here out on the map. So yeah, we're about to see perhaps very likely a harassment game once again. Like we've seen, like many Terrans do this with Medivacs, with Hellions could be an option here for CLEM. Also some mines would be an option, even some Banshees could also be an early option here for the Terran player, just to harass the Zerg player. As for SCARLETT, she also might go for a rush with some Zerglings. It could be a possibility. She could also go into some Roaches and Ravagers, but yeah, let's just have a look what exactly the players have prepared for us. As of course the scouting SCV is being sent out here by CLEM really early, just to get this vital information here, just to see if SCARLETT has went into a hatchery fast expansion or not. And as soon as he sees this, of course, he feels confident to move back. So he knows the strategy here from SCARLETT. He knows that not an early rush will be coming towards his way. So this is exactly why he's now also deciding to go for a fast expansion. He could also, of course, decide to wall in here, as the position would, of course, allow it. Now let's just check his next buildings. He's going for a factory. He might continue with a starport, because like I told you, many Terrans really like to harass the Zerg opponent with those Medivacs. In the meantime, we see SCARLETT taking her 6 o'clock position, as the Reaper has also made it here through, trying to deny a little bit of mining time, perhaps try to snipe a Zergling or two, but of course the Queen will very likely fend this off really shortly, as she's also spreading now her green, her highway, so creep highway, sorry. And yeah, we are spawning full up with the upgrade for the Zerglings. You can also see in the upper left part all of those upgrades. You can also see in the layer here down the APM, the worker count and the army count and so on, just in case I'm missing something. So yeah, CLEM a 2 army versus the 7 here from SCARLETT with her Zerglings very likely. So she also has a nicely parked Overlord into this area, just to give her vision in case CLEM moves out. And yeah, let's have a look at the next options here for CLEM. He's going for double Hellions. This should be his no starport here, interesting enough. He's heading straight for his second expansion here. So quite interesting. I guess he's just going to take those 2 Hellions and drive them straight towards the expansion point here from SCARLETT. Not that many defenses here, just those Queens in the far part. But of course the Hellions with that speed could drive here by. And let's have a look where exactly CLEM is heading, as he's perhaps also going here for this expansion. Queens are ready to intercept, and they're quite tanky early on against this Hellion move out. So yeah, but yeah, look, CLEM is just moving here forward. Some Zerglings are here to defend. This could be really good for CLEM, as he might try to snap some drones. Let's have a look. How many is he going to get, or is he going to get? But SCARLETT really doing a nice job microing those drones out of danger, and the Hellions have fallen. So great early defense by SCARLETT, as 2 more Hellions however are coming here through, and finally being able to snipe 2 drones. So yeah, 2 Hellions versus 2 drones. Not really that trade CLEM was expecting. And let's have a look at the next steps. I will be clicking at the main here from CLEM. There is his starport and his factory, and soon he's very likely going to upload his expansion very likely into this 12 o'clock position. So let's have a look. Still trying to keep SCARLETT at bay here with his Hellions, but SCARLETT looking really nicely defending here, even having a spore in case a Banshees or many Banshees are coming. So SCARLETT thinking of course of any options here, and of course having that spore against those Medivacs. But yeah, CLEM decides just to have those 2 Hellions now, as once again he's finally uplifting here his command center. He's going to upload it here into this position. Steam is about to finish, but those marines will be much stronger, as he might go into mass barracks, into a mass bio build really soon with like I told you, backed up by those medivacs. We do know how strong marines are against the Zerg, but of course Scarlet could react with some banelings. This is exactly why the micro is very much important here for CLEM, just to spread those units. And yeah, once again Scarlet nicely spreading those overloads here, just to have vision in case a medivac is coming. And indeed 2 medivacs are coming now towards the way from Scarlet. Let's see if she is going to be ready for this, as CLEM is now reaching the middle of the map. Let's have a look, where exactly is he going to attack. And by the looks of it, he's just going to try to deny some of those queen eggs, not to allow that creep spread on the map. And at the same time he's also preparing the defenses here for his expansion. And yeah, slowly but steadily he might try to uplift those units here into this location. Perhaps he was thinking that a expansion was here as well, but no. Now we have a nice fight here, but Scarlet having the high ground here has an advantage. Finally CLEM decides to change the position, but Scarlet looking ready for that with a Spore Crawler and with some Zerglings. Really good defense, like I told you, here from Scarlet against her opponent, against CLEM. Let's have a look what the next plans here from CLEM are. He's teaming up, is once again going to deny so many queen's eggs. At the same time he's also nicely walling here into his expansion point, not to allow those Zerglings to move forward, just to snipe those SCVs. So yeah, nice wall in here as well. Really great defense here by CLEM, and this is what I was talking about. Looks like Scarlet is preparing a bust here through with some banelings. Let's have a look if those medivacs will be successful here with a upload of those marines. Let's have a look. CLEM looks like he's adding 2 more medivacs, and the banelings have also finished hatching now. So very likely Scarlet is going to try to bust here through and try to kill as many SCVs as possible, as CLEM prepares here another force. He might regroup with his units and he might try a very strong push here against Scarlet. Let's have a look what the next steps are going to be. More and more creep is being denied. Some Zerglings are being killed. The banelings are still in position, as CLEM is now moving forward here with a smaller group of marines. Probably tries to lure some units here towards him, and at the same time, look at that, he's moving now out with the other marines. Let's have a look if he's going to be successful. Scarlet has to return once again. He does have sight with those medivacs, so he might snipe perhaps a drone or 2. And yes indeed, but Scarlet now coming in tries to surround the unit. So a nice abusive gameplay here by CLEM, nicely multitasking his units and at the same time buying time for those expansion. 1 queen has been sniped from Zerglings as well. So yeah, CLEM does a pretty nice job, and he even might snipe those banelings if he would have had vision. But yeah, he's just going to roam around here on the map, sniping more and more, as slowly but steadily we're closing at a 10-minute mark. Another queen has been killed, 1 is dropping really low. So CLEM does make those small kills count, especially against the queens. Once again in comes his army, but he has to uplift of course and regroup here in the middle. We have now a nice regroup here from CLEM, many marines, some tanks, some hellbats as well. So he's preparing a really strong launch, an attack here towards Scarlet. What exactly does Scarlet have? She has transitioned into some Hydras, of course. Hydras really good later on with some lurkers, as the siege tanks are now preparing a strong attack here. There is vision with this medivac, so the siege tanks are nicely spreaded here against Scarlet. Let's have a look how Scarlet is going to answer for this. Did bust here through with some banelings, but the real action is of course happening here at the expansion point. So really nice siege here by CLEM, as he's going to steam up. But look at that, Scarlet just coming from all of the ways here surrounding CLEM. CLEM has to retreat, he has to kite a little bit back and forward, nicely microing those marines, but those Hydras are also really strong against the marines. Perhaps she could have snapped many more medivacs here. That should have been the first target. In the end she is of course going to hold and push back CLEM. CLEM comes here forward with another marine bust, sniping 2 queens, doing a really nice job. So yeah, Scarlet having some difficulties defending, as CLEM seems to be all over the map finally. she should be able to hold, and she might snipe another medivac here. And let's have a look what exactly the next plans from Clem are going to be. He's going to unload here, but in the end I'm sure he's going to retreat once again, as SCARLETT seems to be prepared here for this attack. So a nice hold. Of course, some damage has been done against this expansion. We have passed the 10-minute mark. Clem also deciding to take here his 12 o'clock. You can see the work account here, 86 for SCARLETT, 73 for Clem. Army wise, however, the Terran has more units against the Zerg, so here once again Clem is preparing an attack. He's sieging up in the back, and slowly but steadily is going to siege here forward. His tank will very likely siege here into this location. SCARLETT is coming through from banelings, or trying to come here through as well, but the tanks are in the high ground, so SCARLETT has no vision there. She has to retreat as more and more is being pushed here forward by Clem. Hatchery is also taking quite some damage. He might snipe this one hatchery if the queens aren't going to heal it. So yeah, let's have a look. I'm still scanning the ground, still killing those queen eggs, as once again he's going to launch another small group. At the same time, he has some siege tanks in the back just to have the defenses going up, just in case SCARLETT is preparing an attack. Yeah, once again he's looking forward here for an attack, perhaps at this position which is not being guarded. And let's have a look now. Some Vipers have been added here by SCARLETT, of course, will be strong with that, with those spells. But hold on, the hatchery has been sniped here by and one moment, SCARLETT not really paying attention, and she's getting punished here by Clem really nicely as the hatchery has fallen. Let's have a look at the other task force here by Clem, but some units are here for SCARLETT, as she should be able to hold this. And yeah, now SCARLETT has to, of course, rebuild this hatchery. She's taking quite some good attacks here against Clem. But yeah, losing this one hatchery is going to deny a little bit of mining time. She has to long distance mine here against her opponent. And yeah, it looks like those Vipers will be really crucial, especially with those spells against those medivacs, with those parasitic bombs. Of course, blinding clouds are also really good against those tanks, even against the marines. So let's have a look how she's going to use them. Perhaps she's going to add even more and more Vipers. Some Ultralisk would also be a nice option. Some Lurkers would also be really great against all of those marines. Operates are also going nicely up here for her. You can see them here in the upper left part. The same can be said for the Terran as well, as Clem is even taking now this space. So both players are now preparing their macro game. Hold on, we have a Nido Swarm here for SCARLETT, but the units are ready for Clem, as he's even going to snipe here this Overseer. We have once again a strong engagement this time by SCARLETT. She moves forward with her Viper. She's spelling those tanks, but there's just so many marines for Clem, so he should be able to hold. At the same time, SCARLETT moving here forward with some banelings, sniping some SCVs. However, the tank here with one kill is able to hold the position, is able to push that army attack back here. So both players, of course, are trying to hurt each other's economy as much as possible. And yeah, let's have a look at the next steps. We have also a nice sensor tower here, so Clem should be knowing in case a army move out is going to happen here by SCARLETT. So yeah, more and more marines are being added, more tanks. This looks like this is going to be the army composition by Clem, and we actually saw some ghosts here sniping this Overseer. So yeah, there are those ghosts in the late game. Really a crucial unit to have for you, a Terran, especially with those snipes against some Lurkers, against some Broodlords, even against some Ultralisk. Now both players have been pretty much supply high up here at the 200 count. This is why Clem is sending the snipers in the front just to snipe the Lurkers, just to snipe whatever they can. Even some Vipers are under attack, so really nice unit, like I told you, to have in the late game. We even have a try to bust here through by Clem against SCARLETT. But yeah, SCARLETT is pretty much going to hold. She even has taken this expansion, so she should really soon defend it. So great macro game we have here now, with Zerglings, with Hydros, with Lurkers, against that bio unit composition with tanks and ghosts by Clem, and of course those medivacs. Really much important. SCARLETT is once again preparing an attack. She's going to perhaps bury that Lurker here just to have vision. And in comes Clan with a scan. He might take out quite some men units. Some sniping has been going on, so lurkers have taken quite some damage. Some hydros have fallen. And yeah, those goals are of course trading mana against kills. Always a nice job. Now SCARLETT is moving forward. She's trying for a pincer maneuver, trying to surround Clan. Nice EMPs going on here against those Vipers, but the ghosts have to retreat. So great attack by SCARLETT with those Zerglings. She was able to take out those siege tanks, and now the ghosts have to regroup. They have to stay back and just try to get some connections, try to get some sniping going on. At the same time, SCARLETT is trying to burst through, but there's a nice command center, but he might go for a planetary fortress, although we have once again a strong engagement. But yeah, those ghosts will be able to take care of those lurkers. Really nice job here by CLEM, showing us of course the strength of those ghosts against the Zerg. So yeah, both players once again trading blows, hurting each other as much as possible. And yeah, really great game here by both players. As slowly but steadily we're closing at a 20-minute mark. Such a nice game here in between France and Canada, and it looks like CLEM is even going to take here the upper left part. So the south is pretty much taken by SCARLETT, and the north belongs now here for the Terran player, for CLEM, as he's once again preparing here his defenses. And yeah, let's have a look what exactly. Perhaps he's going to transition into other units. Some battle cruisers would be a cool idea. Maybe SCARLETT will also go for some Kulturlisk. It would be a nice idea. Some Roach Ravagers would also be a nice transition. Broodlings. Let's have a look what their next plans are, as it looks like it's going to be a very long first game in between them. Banelings would also be crucial to get those connections, but there's also some creep needed here, as one Viper has been once again sniped. So in comes SCARLETT with a quite strong force. Let's have a look if she's going to be successful. Is she going to bust through somehow? So many units are gathering here around, and this planetary fortress is going to deal so much splash damage against the Banelings, but they will get some good connections against those SCVs. 13 SCVs have fallen. The lurkers have been sniped. 15 SCVs, even the planetary fortress has fallen, as CLEM has to once again re-uplift here his command center, and Zerglings are once again taking out more and more. But CLEM is going to regroup and come back. However, he did lose 18 workers here already. So good connections here by SCARLETT. Army-wise, both at the same count of army. As SCARLETT is now looking for a regroup. Perhaps she's going into more Banelings. Let's have a look how things will once again unfold. I believe SCARLETT with a successful strong push here against those SCVs, but it looks like she has lost more army supply against CLEM. Let's have a look at the next steps. Once again, scans are going out. Of course, CLEM wishes to know where exactly those bases are. Perhaps he's preparing once again an attack with some medivacs against SCARLETT. And yeah, SCARLETT looking like she will want to take out this upper left base. Hold on, we actually see some Nidus swarms now going on, and there's not that many defenses here for CLEM, so he might be in some trouble. Even this one expansion being under siege here by SCARLETT. So SCARLETT doing a really nice job moving in with those servings, with those Banelings, those siege tanks. He'll deal of course splash damage. The Marines are being microed back. But yeah, there's just so much action going on. 22 more SCVs have fallen here into this location as well, as the lurkers have now spawned out of those Nidus swarms. So much action here by SCARLETT. SCARLETT with a great multitask here against CLEM, dealing so much splash damage and hurting the economy from the French player quite really strongly, as CLEM all of a sudden has fallen to 44 workers. SCARLETT looks like she's not really done. She's just going to pour out here those Banelings. Nice spread here by CLEM with those SCVs, but the planetary is taking really so much damage, as the planetary will finally fall. The SCVs have been saved in the end, but the planetary has fallen. And Banelings will try to get some connection, but there are ghosts with Marines. Still 5 SCVs have fallen, so CLEM really hurting, and you can see actually now SCARLETT at 19 workers, as even some Zerglings are being left behind here to deal more and more damage, to cause more and more chaos against the CLEM. So CLEM really in some serious trouble. Those multitasking here by SCARLETT doing quite a great job here against CLEM. CLEM has to regroup, and yeah, perhaps he has to rethink his strategy, as SCARLETT really showing us the strength of those Nidus swarm, of those Banelings, those Zerglings. And yes, so many more options here for her. Let's have a look at the next steps, as she also nicely has taken out this planetary fortress and this one lurker, even here not allowing any more expanding by CLEM. So yeah, first victory here by SCARLETT, having more bases, of course, having still more workers. CLEM still struggling to rebuild those workers, as SCARLETT has the double amount here of workers against CLEM. So yeah, CLEM, let's have a look what his answer is going to be. Of course, some scan is going on, but SCARLETT nicely microing that lurker out of danger. Really great job, as CLEM is now moving forward with a small task force, but SCARLETT is here to defend. And yeah, this will be fended off really nicely. The upgrades are pretty much maxed out by both players. You can see it here in the lower part, as those goals will very likely be once again very much crucial. Even some mines have been added. Of course, mines, of course, really strong against those Zerglings, as CLEM tries to poke here forward with a small group of marines, but so many lurkers here for SCARLETT being able to hold this off. And we might see another try here by SCARLETT with an Eidos one, but CLEM is in position. So yeah, lurkers, of course, the answer here by SCARLETT against so many marines and tanks. And she even tries now to take the 3 o'clock from this map. Let's have a look. There should be a reaction, of course, by CLEM. CLEM still has no base here. There's still one lurker seeing this vision. Also, this base is not taken by any players. SCARLETT might try an attempt, as she's now expanding here into this location. So yeah, CLEM has now regrouped. He's still once again maxed out. Let's have a look what's he going to be doing. You can notice, however, that CLEM has more army here against SCARLETT, and slowly but steadily he's pushing forward. Of course, he also some marines to move forward just to have those tanks in the back and those snipers to deal damage. So yeah, so much action once again going on. Good scan here by CLEM, as he's going to snipe so many lurkers. So yeah, CLEM doing quite a nice job here, multitasking and microing those marines out of harm. And here he goes, he might snipe some drones. 4 drones have fallen. Really great job. Nice sniping once again. Those lurkers are taking quite some damage, as the siege tanks are also dealing quite some nice splash damage against SCARLETT. So we have 5 workers. Even more and more fallen to those marines, so those hero marines are dealing really good damage. In come the snipers, so the lurkers have to be aware as the scan is going on. So nice job, and the marines are still taking out quite some workers here. 13 workers have all fallen for SCARLETT, as her expansion is about to fall here as well. So nice job by CLEM, finally also being able to take out a hatchery. Now we have once again an Eidos one. CLEM looks like he's having some units here. Let's have a look if this Eidos one is going to finish, but no, the siege tanks are nicely taking out. However, we have once again banelings coming forward. The planetary fortress nicely being placed in the front just to wall in, and in the end it's getting taken out. But of course the job was done. The tanks also doing a nice defensive job here for CLEM, as SCARLETT has to once again regroup. She's still at Zerglings with banelings with Hydros, and let's see if she's going to be successful to take out those tanks. Reinforcements are coming in for CLEM. It's just a couple of marines, perhaps. Many tanks in the high ground, so SCARLETT is taking really quite some damage. And yeah, the reinforcements are here for CLEM. Marines moving forward. Still the lurkers are in location, so this base might fall, and this one lurker finally has been sniped, as 7 SCVs have fallen for CLEM. And yeah, really nice back and forth game here for both players. And let's have a look. This ghost also might get sniped. And yeah, great game here by both of them. Still anyone's game, anyone's victory could it be. So let's have a look. Snipers once again in the front just to take out the lurkers. SCARLETT still roaming around. She has a nice creep spread here into the middle of the map. Really great stuff here by her. As CLEM once again looking for another expansion. We have 2 Nidus worms now here into this location. Let's have a look what the plan from SCARLETT is going to be as she's moving forward. But CLEM nicely in position just to snipe those units. So SCARLETT taking quite some damage. Even the overseers are going to be sniped. And yeah, what is her plans with those 2 Nidus worms? It's going to be some lurkers. Perhaps she's going to try an attack here into this location, perhaps here. But there's just so many tanks for CLEM. And yeah, things have settled down a little bit. CLEM has taken this expansion is nicely defending it, having the high ground here, looking really, really strong. Same can be said here for SCARLETT, as she's also defending one of the bases that are still mining. All the other bases look like they're almost mined out here. So still great job for them. We have a strong push by SCARLETT with those Zergs in the front, pulling here forward, and the lurkers in the back, but they do take quite some damage out of their snipers. So great hold by them, as once again we have a push here forward with blinding clouds, this time from the Vipers. So yeah, SCARLETT has to retreat. She has done some damage. CLEM is still on a lower work account than SCARLETT, so let's have a look how things will unfold. But army wise, CLEM has more army here against SCARLETT. SCARLETT going for a nice surround, hitting those Vipers, as she's also forcing now CLEM back. So yeah, like I told you, a nice back and forth game in between these two pros. And still, are we going to see perhaps a transition into any other units? We have a greater spire here. Let's have a look at CLEM's base. Still many barracks, not that many factories, actually only one factory. And yeah, it looks like he's going for more marines, more snipers. Now let's have a look at the decision making here. Of course, CLEM wishes to take this base, but it's already taken by SCARLETT, as we have some liberators being added as well here for CLEM. So by the looks of it, she's going to cancel this one hatchery and allowing here CLEM perhaps to take it, or is she deciding to attack somewhere else? Still no lurkers this time for SCARLETT, just Zerglings with Hydras for her and some bailing. She might try to push here forward. Blinding clouds it is, but those tanks are also nicely stitched up here together, so the blinding clouds are actually working perfectly here for SCARLETT. But in come the reinforcements, in come those snipers, those ghosts, which are going to be sniping so many units. So yeah, SCARLETT once again poking here forward, but taking quite some damage as well out of those ghosts. We are ghosts pretty much with maximum mana. Nice trades here by CLEM. And yeah, let's have a look. She has actually taken this base. This base belongs now to SCARLETT. And yeah, there's not really that much being left here to mine for both players. Have a look what exactly they will be going forward. Still some scans are of course going on. And yeah, it looks like it's still Hydras with Zerglings for SCARLETT, and with a couple of Vipers, 2 Vipers, and she has finally gone into some lurks. But hold on, we have some Broodlings now, or Broodlords. Let's have a look what they're called, Broodlords indeed, and some Infestors. So Infestors will be strong with those mushroom spells, and with that mind control. Mind control could also be nicely used on those siege tanks. Let's have a look what she's actually going for. She's waiting of course for that energy here to be much higher for those Infestors. And yeah, those Broodlords really great counter against the Marines, against the snipers. But yeah, she needs to be careful not to allow of course those ghosts to snap so many Broodlords. Of course, high HP for those Broodlords. Let's have a look. We might have an engagement. The ghosts are in the front. They will now finally see those Broodlords, and some ghosts already taking quite some damage. Nice sniping as well here by a CLEM, but SCARLETT is moving forward really strongly here. So many Broodlords, so much damage being taken. The Planetary is of course trying to defend, but it's just so many units, and even some Vikings now are being added by CLEM. But there are Hydras to defend those Broodlords, and yeah, still sniping going on back and forward. And the Planetary has fallen. The count from those Broodlords are still high for SCARLETT, as she's pushing now forward. Those SCVs will fall as well. A great push here by SCARLETT. Great transition as the reinforcements are also nicely pulling in those Zerglings in the front. The Infestors also did their job nicely with their spell, and she's forcing a pull back here by CLEM. So even 20 SCVs have fallen by CLEM dropping to 37 SCVs. Somehow CLEM still decides to push here forward, even though SCARLETT having the high ground. Once again, the snipers are moving forward. Just one Overseer is being sniped, but SCARLETT wishing of course to secure here her expansion, and CLEM has to give up this expansion. So where exactly? Only this base, and this base is pretty much mining for CLEM. Let's have a look at the next steps. This base, of course, this location here really much important. Of course, CLEM is trying to move forward with some tanks, and yes, SCARLETT still on the patrol here with her Broodlords. Some Corruptors have been added here as well. Yeah, let's have a look. Some snipers once again moving forward. The Broodlords are, however, nicely being defended. Even some spines and some spores. Everything is being taken here for SCARLETT. He knows how important this position is. And yet finally the Broodlords are moving forward. They might snipe a tank or two, but they're going of course against those snipers. And their siege tanks are actually dealing now splash damage towards their own units with that siege mode. So yes, Terran needs to be careful. He's sieging up and unsieging. So a nice siege once again going on, but SCARLETT is already mining. 8 drones have fallen. These tanks really need to be taken care of. As the Vikings are now moving forward, but there are some spores and the hatchery is taking quite some damage. So let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. The snipers are also moving forward, so healing is going on. Some nice harpoons here by those Vipers, but the hatchery is falling really low, and those siege tanks are really, yeah, they will be able to take it out. So in comes SCARLETT, which are Broodlords finally taking care of those siege tanks, but I hope she's not going to go a little bit further here. Let's have a look at nice spells by those infestors. Really great fungals here by her. So really great push. Those infestors proving a great investment here by SCARLETT. And a really late EMP shockwave by CLEM, not punishing those infestors. So yeah, those fungals really nice for her, working out pretty well. Still the tank count is really high by CLEM. And yeah, let's have a look. So many ghosts, so many medivacs. Tanks are still online, some SCVs here to repair. The lurkers are still in position, and once again CLEM is preparing the siege. He did take out that hatchery, that was very much important, but it's also hard for him to push forward as SCARLETT has the high ground. She has those Broodlords, and those infestors are of course waiting once again for that mana to go up. So EMP will be very likely used really soon by CLEM if possible. Let's have a look. Scans are still going on. As once again he's wishing of course to snipe. So many lurkers, 4 lurkers in position. Sniping is going on, so slowly but steadily CLEM tries of course to cripple here SCARLETT. And yes, SCARLETT adding even more and more Broodlords into her account. So yeah, we have some corruptors. Let's have a look at the next steps. A Tor has now joined the army from the Terran. There are 5 siege tanks and some great sniping once again here by CLEM, as the lurkers will of course stand no chance. Even the overlords have fallen towards those ghosts. So great gameplay here by CLEM, really doing so much damage. Great scans. And yeah, now SCARLETT knows of course she has to take out those tanks. In comes the fungal, and in comes those Broodlords. Of course he has to unsiege, he has to retreat, but there is fungal, and there are Zergs pouring here forward by SCARLETT. Even the infestors are joining here the attack. So what a great attack here by SCARLETT. There's so much fungal is going on, so much damage, so much splash damage finally. Even the Tor has fallen as reinforcements are coming in by CLEM, but the snipers have been torpedoed back. And here really both back and forward damage by both players. Infestors once again low on mana, but they have done their job with their fungals. And now we even have this one command center under attack by those Broodlords. So sniping once again is going on. But yeah, sadly here for CLEM, he's going to lose this base, also loses 10 SCVs. So really nice job by SCARLETT, looking very strong. Is she somehow going to be able to take this game? Sniping is still going on, but in come those Zerg, so the snipers have to be uplifted by the medivacs. Another Tor is joined here to fun as the Broodlords are falling really low, so SCARLETT needs to be careful. Only a fungal should be able to save those remaining Broodlords. Not that many, only 3 remaining here for her. And we even have a Tor ship now. Nice micro by CLEM. And yeah, let's have a look. So much damage being taken by both players. Sadly for SCARLETT, also has lost so many Broodlords. So yeah, really nice back and forward game. But in the end, CLEM has also lost his base, and luckily here for SCARLETT is able to mine from these 2 bases. So yeah, what a crazy back and forward game, as some Marines are now finally pushing here forward with this one Tor. But even those Spineclaw are dealing damage against those Marines. Finally, snipers are moving forward. Not that much energy on them, but he really wishes to snipe at this one hatchery. We have some Zerglings here moving forward. Mine might get taken out, so SCARLETT tries of course to deal as much damage against CLEM. And yeah, let's have a look at the next step. Some Marines will be very likely going to try to take out some drones. Is Scarlet ready for this? 3 drones have already fallen, 7 now even, but the Marines are taking also quite some damage. So yeah, really great stuff by both players, sniping of course against those lurkers, but of course the real damage dealers are those Broodwar, 6 of them. There's even a mine now here, so yeah, really great siege by CLEM and also nice defense by Scarlet. Let's have a look. She's going to take out the mine, she's going to take out the tank, but those ghosts are still in position here, being defended by a Tor. So yes, just a couple of ghosts, just a couple of Marines with 1 Tor. Some reinforcements are coming in, so there's also many infestors now here by by Scarlet. Let's have a look if she's going to once again fungal those units, and there's the first fungal, but EMP is going out. And the Broodwars are also dealing great damage against those snipers. Siege tanks in the back are also doing their best job. Scarlet tries to kite those Broodleagues back and forward. And yes, the siege is continuing here for CLEM with those Marines. And the snipers are of course waiting for their opportunity to snipe something here. The Queen has fallen. Failed fungal here by Scarlet. Is still back and forward action here against his base. In the meantime, CLEM is of course now mining from his base as well, but he really has to somehow snipe this one hatchery. Let's have a look at his options. Perhaps those 2 tanks will move forward for him. Yeah, still some Marines are now moving forward. Fungal is going up. So much damage. Broodlords still waiting for their tank launch here. It's just 5 of them, but still quite a strong force, as the Marines will be targeted now. And yeah, let's have a look. Each tank have moved forward. This hatchery is being attacked. And yes, still 2 drones have fallen out of those siege tanks, but hold on, the hatchery is dropping really low, so Scarlet has to make something happen. Finally, the hatchery has fallen. Great fungals, great attack with those Broodlords. In the end, she loses her hatchery. But in comes CLEM with the EMP shockwave. And let's have a look. This ghosts in position. More and more nice EMPs here by CLEM against those infestors. But more and more Broodlords are being spawned, so I guess Scarlet is just heading straight into mass Broodlords. Great fungal this time by her. So yeah, let's have a look. More and more units are dropping really low, but the medivacs have so much energy. So yeah, Scarlet should be able to once again attack here. The Broodlords are taking quite some damage. In comes more and more reinforcements. EMPs are nicely being casted against those infestors. Great fungals as well. But in the end, yeah, once again, both players are trading blows here. And yeah, units are falling left and right. Broodlords and ghosts. And even 1 tank has fallen here. So great siege. But remember, Scarlet is not mining here. Only has this base, I believe, that is being mined out really soon. As this base is once again really important. It's long distance mining. Both players at the same work account, 30 to 32. And yeah, let's have a look. Snipers pretty much exposed here in the front. Going to take so much damage. And yeah, let's have a look once again. Where are those infestors? Of course, they're being hidden in the back just to avoid those EMP shockwaves. And yeah, CLEM might try a slow siege forward here with his Tor. Yeah, those drones will be his first target, as the Tor is now being retreated slowly but steadily back. Fungal is going out, as Scarlet is going to target this one Tor. Look, is she going to be able to take him out? Nice micro here by CLEM. And still the attack is going on. The Marines are in the back. Scarlet also having those infestors in the back. Slowly but steadily poking here with those Broodlords, but a nice EMP once again is being sacrificed here by CLEM. So really nice job here by CLEM, not allowing Scarlet to fully saturate here this expansion. And yeah, let's have a look. Nice fungal once again, but the sniping is once again being continued. Nice EMP here, where both players are pretty much using those spells, and some great sniping here by CLEM. Let's have a look. In come those Broodlings, and yet another fungal here by this one infestor, nicely hidden infestor. But let's have a look. Those Broodlords are really doing good damage here against those ghosts. Another EMP is going off, but the Broodlords are being pretty much untouched here by CLEM, where Scarlet is nicely kiting them back and forward. Just a couple of siege tanks now with Marines, so the Broodlords looking like really strong, but in come the reinforcements here by CLEM, and CLEM once again is pushing here forward with Stim, and somehow Scarlet has to retreat now. She has to find a better position for those Broodlords. In the back in comes even the Thor, just infested with Broodwars against those snipers, tanks and marines. We have yet another Thor here by them, so what a crazy game. And still, it could be anyone's game here, perhaps SCARLETT if she's not microing, but the army from CLEM looks here much stronger against SCARLETT's army. Let's have a look. Another nice fungal is going on. Some more and more sniping is going to happen here, but let's have a look what exactly is going to happen. More and more damage is being taken by CLEM as well. And yeah, she might even try to pull all of those drones to attack here against CLEM. We have actually reached now the 40-minute mark, so what a crazy first game in this best of 3. And there's still a lot of infestors here, but not that much energy for those infestors, as those snipers pretty much have taken care of that. But how many snipers does he have? I believe only one. So yeah, one sniper it is here for CLEM. He really pretty much lost so many of them. And yeah, perhaps he's going to try not a long distance mine here. SCARLETT pretty much remaining here in the back, borrowing those infestors, so she's going to try to fungal once again, or maybe she's going to try to mind control one of those units. Let's have a look what her plan is as she's moving here forward with one infestor. And yeah, CLEM deciding to take this base, and if he's going to hold this base, he should be able to win this game. What a crazy game here for him. Yeah, let's have a look. Some people are moving here forward. This one infestor. Let's have a look at the plan from SCARLETT. Of course, she has vision. She knows that she has to be doing something here against CLEM, as CLEM is now pushing forward with those ghosts, even using cloak. And yeah, he's once again on the sniping move against SCARLETT. In comes this one infestor. Good fungals here, but yeah, in the end this is going to be the victory for CLEM, as CLEM has taken this one base. So what a crazy game.